What's going on? Sandman here, and if you're interested in looking at an OP Cyberpunk build, I'm actually showcasing the last mission on very hard right now. So if you want to turn away if you're not trying to spoil it for yourself. However, if you're looking to get your build correct, definitely stay tuned.
Arasaka elites coming down on our heads. Take it slow. No unwanted attention.
That's a mistake, kid. You'll regret it.
Get him.
Where are my damn reinforcements? We have to move past the partition, then we'll be at the core. You can do this.
Interesting. Come here. You spared. So very human and disgusting. Mercy is disgusting. Is this pain? I've forgotten the sensation.
Defenses are breached. The path to the core lies open, but we don't have much time.
Adam Smasher. I remember you. Promised to kill Pan Am.
I'm going to miss that constant bickering.
Gonna let you in on a
The
little
unending
secret.
fight.
Johnny?
I
He's
never
here
knew
with
I loved
us.
more.
What's going on, y'all? Sandman here, and what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna give you my Cyberpunk build, and we'll start with the gear. We'll start with the buffs, and then I'll go into the character setup tree because I know I'm gonna take a little more time there. This is the Divided We Stand rifle. Now, I wanted a rifle that I could use pretty much just as a spray rifle. This rifle works really well because it has a wide acquisition reticle for smart targeting, and it works really well. There's another alternative to this. There's a couple other rifles that work well like this, but I like this because of the 5 target identification at the same time. It works really good. I also used Skippy for a little while. Skippy worked okay, but it used the same ammo as the pistol, and I didn't like how fast that ammo was draining out. I actually found this on the map here. It was here in Santo Domingo, somewhere in this area, somewhere by this Ripper dock, I want to say. It was somewhere over here. I don't remember 100% exactly where, but I know it was in this area. I found it as either a blue or a purple, and then I was able to upgrade it into gold for the most part. This is the staple of the build. This is the main damage dealer. All right, this is what you would use against boss fights. This is a craftable pistol, okay? And every time I showcase these weapons, you can actually see the mods underneath. Down here, it says increase headshot damage, increase damage. Hitting a target reduces damage. That's just like a suppressors mod there, and then increases damage to limbs. But those are the mods I'm keeping on it. I'm pretty sure I can get better mods, but this is what I have right now, so this is what I'm using right now. I haven't focused too much on grinding or looking for mods or upgrading mods and doing things like that. I'm fairly certain it could hit even harder, but right now, in very hard mode, this is working well enough. And then I've got an 05. You can see the modifications on it there. I got this 05 rifle from one of the fights you take. And you can have the guy bet his sniper rifle. That's how I got that one. All right, and the gear in terms of armor, I'm running everything pretty much corporate. I could run this hat that I have for even more armor, to be honest, by a lot more armor. It would throw me into 4,000 range armor, but I just don't like the look of it. I don't like it. I like to have I like the appearance of this right here, and because it works well even at 3,600 armor, it's good enough. I have 812 health. I'm doing that with primarily 3 items. One item is health booster, which increases max health by 20%. And then I'm taking something to apply the hydration status, which adds stamina and regen. And then I'm taking something here which adds the nourishment status, which increases max health by 5%. And again, a little regen, but this one for, I believe, health outside of combat. The first one being stamina. As you can see here, I have the active buffs. 812 health is my my max health right now, 812. So, and in regards to, let me go back here real quick. In regards to the mods on the armor, everything is crafted armadillo mods, not duplicated armadillo mods. Crafted armadillo mods. What you want to do is you want to craft armadillo mods, because if you duplicate them, they don't stack on top of each other. So for instance, you duplicate one of them and then you put it on, instead of getting like 400 armor, you'll get like 200 armor only if it's like a 200 piece or something like that. It won't stack if it's duped. So what you want to do is you want to make sure all of the armadillo mods are individual parts. They're actual parts that you've crafted. The easiest way to do it is to craft them using something in the skill tree that I'll talk about later. One thing I forgot to mention is that I'm using one Fortuna, one Bully mod, and I'm not using a Deadeye mod right now because the Fortunas don't stack on each other, so you can't have more than one Fortuna in the build, and the Bullies don't stack on each other, so you can't have more than one Bully in the build, and the Deadeye mod just doesn't work. A lot of the other mods don't work. I have the mods, but they just don't work, so I'm not using them right now. So you see Bully. I've got a handful of Bullies. I've got a handful of Cool It. Cool It does work. All you need is just one of them. It does work really well, but I already have the immunity to burn as a cyber mod, so I'm not using this anymore. However, it was good when I had it on. Deadeye clothing mod. This is really valid. But again, not active. I guess the effect is broken or something. It just doesn't work. So not using it. Just using one Fortuna, one Bully. That's it. And then I'm running obviously the max stock you can find out here, and I'm using Blood Pump. But for the most part, this hasn't really even been serious. I could just leave just the projectile launch system on here. Okay, so this right here, this tranquilizer round, is ridiculous for the projectile setup. I've tested all the other ones. This trank round one-shots pretty much anything that's a human target. So all of the cyber cycles you run into during the game and things like that, this is a one-shot. So try to get this as soon as possible. It makes a lot of the earlier boss fights very fucking easy. And then I also am using increased armor and increased max health modifications on this. So you see I have an armor mod right here, and I have a health mod right here. A majority of everything here is this is damage to drones, mechs, and robots increased by 50%. This is a very big hit. I don't even have a third frontal cortex mod, and odds are I may not, because I've actually killed Fingers in this playthrough, and if you've either killed Fingers or you've punched him when you interrogated him, you lose the ability to buy shit from him. And he has some of the best modifications, to be honest. So that was that. I honestly don't give a shit. But I have this is the highest Kuroshi optics you're gonna find. Enhances your vision, automatically highlights enemies who have detected you, and increases crit chance, increases headshot bonus damage. Right. So then here we go. We have more bioconductor, blood pump, biomon. Right. Shock and awe. Shock and awe is kind of not really a necessity, but it's one of the easier ones that I have. Again, this section is another section because of killing Fingers that I'm lacking. All right. This is a very good modification. Reflex tuner is good as well. It kind of buys you a little time when your health hits 25%. It's almost like a it slows down time, allows you to stim. This is grants immunity to bleeding, grants immunity to burn, and then an extra 200 armor with subdermal on gold. Okay, and then I'm using the Warp Dancer Sandavestian. However, you can use the Militech Falcon Sandavestian. It works as well. The only reason why I like the Warp Dancer is it slows down time by a lot more percentage than any of the others. Where the Falcon is not too bad. I know the percentage here says 10% slows down time by 10%. That's actually wrong. It slows down time by like 90%. And the Falcon slows down time by about 70%. The only issue with the Falcon is it takes like a minute to cool down, whereas this takes about half a minute to cool down. But this only lasts, I want to say, what, like 10 seconds or something like that. And the other Falcon lasts like 15. But the main thing is just the cooldown time is the biggest thing that I'm more concerned with. I like to have it available faster for the most part. Half a minute works a little better. But the Falcon will work as well with this build. I really wouldn't use anything else except either the Warp Dancer or the Falcon. Let me see, can I, it's not gonna let me change it. Yeah, the Falcon's the other one to use though. All right, I have reduces recoil of ranged weapons in the bionic joints. I have increases health. Again, Smart Link on gold, the arms on gold, and the legs on blue. I have a double jump. I used to use charge jump. It was really comfortable, but double jump is kind of what I started using when everybody in chat on Twitch told me try it out, and I got really comfortable with it, and it's kind of been like my go-to now. If I could get the purple one, it'd be awesome, because the purple one, I think you can float with it too. But again, I killed Fingers, so if you killed Fingers, you lose a lot of shit. Just keep that in mind. So let's talk about the reflex tree first. Okay, in the reflex tree, we're gonna go into handguns because this is a primarily this is a handgun build. Okay, and we're using the Comrade's hammer for a specific reason, which I'm gonna explain as I progress through this this breakdown. Okay, attritional fire is in case you I guess take a shot with a pistol or revolver at the same target, increases damage. This may or may not be viable, to be honest, but it's there. Certain things I did want to lean into to see how they worked. Brain power after successful headshot with the pistol. Crit chance increases by 25% for 5 seconds. This is viable. Okay. Acrobat. You can now perform dodges while aiming a pistol or revolver. Very Very viable because when used in conjunction with Krezhnikov, it allows the slow motion of time while aiming down sights. Wild West, this is one of the staples here. Removes the damage penalty from pistols and revolvers shooting from a distance. This pretty much means that there's no drop off in damage at range with Wild West. OK Corral, deal 50% more damage with pistols and revolvers to enemies whose health is below 25%. OK Corral is viable in the beginning portions of leveling up. It's one of the first ones you'll probably invest in. However, as you progress into this build, this specific section becomes less and less viable. But I've had it on already for so long, there's no point taking it off. High Noon, increased crit chance overall, pistols, right, and revolvers. And then we got another increased damage with pistol and revolvers. That's another general overall. Increased headshot damage multiplier. This is very big. Rio Bravo. That's a staple in the build. Long shot, drop pop, right? Increases damage. Increases damage with pistols against people who are further away, right? As well as in conjunction with Wild West, removing the damage penalty from distance. This works really well. So that's one. All right, increased crit damage, right? That's another one. It's a basic one there. Increased crit chance if fully modded, right? That's good, right? Increases damage to limbs, right? That's fine. There's also one here. Hold on, I wanna confirm it. I wanna showcase it real quick. Give me 1 second, because for some reason I'm not finding it. Let's see. All right. Grand Finale is the staple in absolute damage for the Comrade's Hammer. And the way it works is the Comrade's Hammer only has one bullet all of the time. You fire the Comrade's Hammer and you have to reload the magazine or the revolver clip, right? So the way it works is Comrade's Hammer always has a double damage effect on it because it always has the last round in it, technically. So Grand Finale pretty much doubles the Comrade's Hammer damage. So if the damage is like 4,000 initial base damage, then you're looking at 8,000 for every shot. And then it's then it's double with all the other effects, or it's multiplied by all the other effects rather. So Grand Finale is that's one of the big staples for the handgun setup. Now, what this pretty much is this pretty much is a build skipping out on comfort in regards to usage of weapons and things like that. So there is no reduction in draw holster time. There is no reduction in reload time. There is no reduction in recoil. Everything is damage based for the most part, and that's how it should be. You should focus on everything damage based. As you further progress along, then you can start getting more and more comfortable with this. However, this is a level 50 build, and as you can see, I don't have anything invested in reducing recoil or anything along those lines. Enables you to shoot with pistols and revolvers while dodging. Yeah, this will probably be one viable at this point, because we used Krezhnikov and everything else. But I'll put that on because it's already so late in this build that I have no issues doing it. Assault works by the same rules. Again, increases crit damage, right? And we're seeing more increases damage to moving enemies. Increases damage. Another one increases damage, right? Deal 25% more damage with rifles as machine guns to enemies whose health is above 50%, right? So that allows you to do a initial heavy amount of damage. And then increases the farther you are located from enemies. Again, more damage. And then I can come in here and start doing some others, but there's certain things that I'm not going to buff up. I wouldn't buff up rifles and submachine guns when standing still, because I don't tend to stand still when I'm shooting. I'm always either circle strafing, or I'm in a rotation, or I'm moving forward. I'm walking forward and firing. I'm moving to the side and firing. I'm never really standing still and shooting. But if that's your playstyle, then you may use this and continue stacking. But you guys get a rough idea at this point as to what we were going with in terms of damage. So all the points are assault and handgun. There's nothing in melee. Okay. Now, in regards to body, there are certain points that I could level up and things like that. But right now, I don't have anything in Annihilation for shotguns, because we don't have shotguns. We're not using shotguns. We're not really using LMGs and stuff like that. And then again, we're not doing anything with melee blunt weapon. So everything is here in athletics. We've got a health regen. We've got health regen. We've got max health increase, this is a staple in the build right there. All right, allows you to reload weapons while sprinting, sliding, and vaulting. That allows you to sprint and reload at the same time. This is good. This is a comfort thing, though. This isn't a necessity in the build. Health regen activates 90% faster during combat, and then this is a health regen in combat, 15% increase. And then I can get that to a 30% increase. This is actually really good, and this one's really good, but the main one here is the max health increase. That's body for the most part. Technical's relatively simple. It's damn near everything in crafting. It's a handful of things in engineering. Okay, so the only thing we're not focusing on is grenade dealing damage, and we're not focusing on increasing sale price of crafted items. We don't give a shit about that. We do have this because I've gotten lazy. You don't need this anywhere near the beginning of your build. Scrapper can like sit to the back burner. You can just crush your own fucking junk. Ex Nihilo. This grants the 20% chance to craft an item for free. This is the reason. This is one of the main perks you'll use when crafting armadillo, so that you can get blue and purple armadillos for free while crafting gray armadillos. So you definitely want to have this active, probably mid-game, early game, somewhere in that range where you can start crafting armadillos. You might be able to get good armadillos early on. Allows you to upgrade lower quality components, right? You definitely want these. You want this, right? Crafted weapons deal 5% more damage. Field Technician. This comes in handy when you start making, when you start crafting Comrades hammers. Until then, you don't need to focus on Field Technician much. Gain more components when disassembling in the beginning part of this. This is actually going to be viable because you're going to need just parts in the beginning. You're going to be picking up everything, breaking everything for the most part. Mechanic helps you out. Allows you to craft rare. Some of these are kind of just a given. Right? Crafted clothes gain 5%. Right? When disassembling an item, you get it. When disassembling an item, you get attached mods back. So if you got some item that you're using, like I had some fucking level 1 fucking gold shirt that had like 4 item slots, and 2 of them were like Bully Fortuna, and then a Deadeye, and then it was like a gray armadillo or some shit. And then it got to the point where I was like, I can't really use this level fucking 4 or 5, whatever the hell it was, shirt. I was using this to get my items back off of it after I crushed it down. So definitely keep that in mind. But this one's pretty simple. There's certain things that you need on here. Cutting Edge increases damage for crafted weapons. This is, again, another buff for it. Allows you to craft legendary. Right? Grants a 10% chance to upgrade an item for free. This is another one along with Ex Nihilo right there. This efficient upgrades. When you craft a armadillo, this will upgrade it to blue or purple. So that's the whole thing behind the armadillo crafting, so that you don't have to duplicate them, and you can have a lot of armadillos in the purple range for the armor buffing. And then engineering is pretty straightforward. It's just reduces damage taken from explosions. Explosions are so fucking ridiculous in this game. You take so much damage from them, especially like just the explosions like laying around, like the red containers and drums and shit. Tech weapons ignore armor. This combined with the fact that the Comrade's Hammer is a tech weapon is ridiculous. Grants immunity to shock, that's a given. Grants immunity to all effects from your own grenades. Even though this, in all honesty, you don't really need, because if you play with the projectile arm and you use Trank, you never use grenades. So this can actually sit out. Increases damage to drones, mechs, and robots. 40% coupled with the fact that I have a cyber mod that does pretty much the same thing. That's a lot more damage for machines. That's why you'll see whenever I shoot like a one of those Ed 209 robots, why it does so much more damage versus like when I shoot like just a human combatant for the most part. So ricochets, I don't use ricochets. Tech weapon charge time, we don't use a charge for the Comrade's Hammer. The Comrade's Hammer doesn't charge. We could use this lightning bolt for increased crit chance with tech weapons. That'll buff up the chance with Comrade's Hammer even more. But at this point, I haven't really used it. But I mean, you could take, let's say, this off and invest in here. That'd be fine. Shrapnel. Explosive radius is visible. It's not necessary. I haven't really run into issues where I've had to look to see where the grenade's gonna explode. Most of the time when I'm blowing up, it's already too fucking late because I was standing next to something I didn't realize was fucking explosive. But yeah, so that's pretty much the build. There isn't much in terms of intelligence, quick hacking for this build, because you don't use quick hacking or intelligence in this build. I use this quote-unquote stealth. In all honesty, this is unnecessary. I could take all these points out, put them elsewhere. Increased crit chance while sneaking. It's not necessary. This sniper is probably the only thing that's viable just for initial shot when outside of combat. Normally, the first person you can hit outside of combat while crouching will be like an insane damage multiplier. Increases damage dealt by silenced weapons. I've found this to kind of be and the reason why I say that is because most of the time when you put a suppressor on it, you lose damage by a percentage already. So you have a suppressor that will reduce damage by 25%, and then you'll have silent and deadly, which increases damage by 25%. It's almost like you could have fucking went with just a standard loud weapon. Deal 15% more damage to humans. This one's viable, but you can get this one early on without having fucking 10 cool points. This was incorrectly done, but again, this is my very first build. This was me testing out the trees and everything like that, so I invested a little more into stealth, and then I realized I didn't have to. I realized that I could primarily use reflex and technical for shooting builds, and that would work well. In all honesty, I would love for them to be able to allow you to reset this whole tree. I throw all of my points into body. I'd get body on 20, and then I'd leave reflex on 20, technical on 20. I'd have this on 5 and maybe this on 5 as well. And that would actually just work out for this build perfectly. So what you want to do with this build is 20, 20, 20, 5, 5 for the most part. And it works out. It works out well because 5 will allow you to use some of this stuff like assassin and let me see. I think assassin and sniper would be the only two that I would use, and I wouldn't even give too much of a fuck about the 15% damage to humans because the humans normally get one tapped with the projectile arm anyway. So that's the build, guys. I hope that's helpful, and yeah, so enjoy.